Hi, readers. Miss Huber here. I was talking to one of my friends last night, and it kind of made me start thinking about you. So, this is how it went. So, my friend is a lawyer. She talks about all kinds of things that sometimes I just don't understand. And sometimes she starts out, and I'm like, okay, I got this. And then I realize like I've either zoned out or I've missed something or something just doesn't make sense. And then I know I have a choice. And so when I was talking to her last night, I realized that happened. And I was like, do I tell her that I don't understand? I'm a little embarrassed. Do I ask a question? What do I do? And I decided to pause, have her pause. And I asked her a question and I'm like, what does that mean? And she told me, and then we had a great conversation. And the reason I was thinking about this is because it's kind of the same with reading. And sometimes when I'm reading, I kind of get going and I'm like, wait a minute, I kind of got a little lost. I don't understand what's happening here. This character came out of nowhere. Who is this person? And I have a choice then. My choice is that I can keep reading and ignore it and decide, like, I'm just going to turn the pages. Or a better choice is I can stop and I can do something to solve my confusions. And so today, what I really want to teach you is that when your reading stops making sense, it's your job to do something about that to get your reading back on track. So, what can we do when our reading stops making sense? Well, we can rely on some strategies. And one of the strategies that is commonly used is to go back to the last part that made sense or the last part that you remember and read it again. But that's not the only strategy. Sometimes maybe there's just like a character that you like is popping up that you're like, I don't remember this person. So maybe you're going to go back and skim and look for quick that character's name and then read about them and then you can go forward. Or maybe you're going to think about what are some questions? What is giving me confusion? And either just keep those in your head or jot those in your notebook and then read on trying to answer those questions. So those are just 3 strategies that you might try when your reading stops making sense. But there are tons of other strategies. And what works for one book or one piece of text may not be the same as what works for another piece of text. So what I want you to do right now is think about when you're reading, and it could be reading anything. Maybe it's your Apex textbook. Maybe it's your book that you have. Maybe it's an email. Maybe it's a text from one of your friends. And what are some of the things that you do when you realize this doesn't make any sense anymore? I bet you have a lot of good ideas. All right, so what I want you to do is 1, in the text below, type in a couple of those good ideas. 2, I want you to look at what the good ideas from other people are, and I want you to try a couple of those out as you're reading in the next week or so. This could be when you're reading our Apex material in this class, or in science, or in math, or somewhere else. It could be when you're reading your novel to yourself or with your friends. Reading can stop making sense for so many reasons. Maybe you got distracted or stopped paying attention. Maybe it's just really hard, and so you need to do some work to help you understand. But if it's something that you have to read for class, or the book really is just right for you, maybe you need a strategy to help get your understanding back on track. Starting today and for the rest of your reading life, I want you to know that sometimes reading doesn't make sense, but you don't just have to live with that. There are things you can do. So as you're reading, I want you to flag places where your reading gets off track, meaning where it stops making sense. And then note, what did you try to get it back on track? We'll check in a couple days to see what you've done. All right, readers, go learn a lot. You are good enough and smart enough. I will see you soon. Bye.